Charles Henry Tatro was just 18 years old when he joined the Army on March 18, 1943. He was the youngest son of Joseph and Mary Tatro, who lived at 95 Hathaway Street in New Bedford. He had 3 brothers and 4 sisters. His 3 older brothers, Edgar Francis Tatro, Joseph James Tatro, and Clifton Lawrence Tatro, were all in the military. Charles Henry Tatro was assigned to the 460th Parachute Field Artillery Battalion during World War II. He was in Company C. Training at Fort Benning, Georgia was no easy task. Push-ups almost around the clock, running under the hot Georgia sun, calisthenics, tower mock-up, and the nervousness of packing your parachute. These were the A, B, and C stages. The supreme test was the dreaded D stage, your first parachute jump. This was when you earned the right to wear the 460th Parachute Field Artillery Battalion patch, which is of a donkey with its chute opened as it floats to the ground. By May 1944, the 460th was ready and prepared for combat. In August of that same year, Company C was heading to southern France to assist in Operation Dragoon. The goal of the operation was to secure the vital ports on the French Mediterranean coast and increase pressure on German forces by opening another front. It was here, only after 5 months overseas, that Private Charles Henry Tatro would meet his fate. He was killed in action on September 12, 1944, while in southern France. He was 19 years old. The last letter received by his parents was dated September 6th, just 6 days before he was killed. The flag at John I. Paulding, Inc. in New Bedford, where Private Tatro had worked, was lowered to half-staff upon hearing the news of his death. The funeral, with full military honors for Private Tatro, was held on April 24, 1948, at the 95 Hathaway Street residence. A high mass of requiem was sung at 9 a.m. that day at St. Kilian Church. In 1958, House Bill 3239, filed by then Representative Leo J. Normandin and Senator Arthur J. Mullen, sought to petition that one of the traffic islands at the intersection of Route 140, now Ashley Boulevard, and Acushnet Avenue be named after Private Charles Henry Tatro. It reads, "An act designating a certain traffic island on Route 140 in the city of New Bedford as the Charles Henry Tatro Traffic Island be it enacted as follows. Section 1. The northerly traffic island at the intersection of Acushnet Avenue and Route 140 in the city of New Bedford shall be known and designated as the Charles Henry Tatro Traffic Island, in memory and in honor of Charles Henry Tatro, a private in the United States Army who was killed while serving as a paratrooper in France on September 12, 1944, and a suitable marker bearing said designation shall be erected and maintained at said island by the State Department of Public Works. Section 2. This act shall take effect upon its passage. Approved October 3, 1958. At the sign dedication ceremony on December 14, 1958, which also included the dedication of 2 other veteran signs, Mayor Francis J. Lawler was quoted in the New Bedford Standard Times as saying, "Today, we are indeed frightened when we think of the cruel disaster that might befall us as a result of the atomic age. We must be prepared so that these men, who we honor here today, will not have died in vain. Day by day as we pass this square, it will be a reminder to fight the real battle." There is a memorial to the 460th Parachute Field Artillery Battalion. It's located at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. It reads, "Fought on battlefields in Italy, France, Belgium, and Germany, suffered over 150 casualties, and had 13 men killed in action." The memorial lists the 13 men killed in action. The 13th name, Private Charles H. Tatro. A memoriam for Private Charles Henry Tatro, published in the New Bedford Standard Times on September 12, 1946, reads, "Brave and loyal in the service of the flag he bore on high, he gave his life to keep it flying, and such heroes never die. Time may dim our grief and sorrow, but our love for him will stay bright through all the years before us, and we'll miss him every day. Yes, he knows we will remember, and he smiles with love and pride when to heaven comes our whisper, 'Thank you, Charlie.'" For us you died. Mother, Dad, sisters, and brothers. Private Charles Henry Tatro, born January 8, 1925, died September 12, 1944. He was 19 years old. Private Charles Henry Tatro, thank you for your service.